Hello, my beautiful Aries, and welcome to your general reading. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. I do apologize for being absent for a minute there. I did have the flu, as did both of my children, so I've been under the weather and then a little busy taking care of others. So I am back now, so trying to catch up here on some reading for you. So let's go ahead and do your general reading. We will use this deck for your past, present, future. We will use another typical tarot deck here for your challenge card, and then we're going to use 3 oracle decks to kind of clarify as well, and then get back to the typical tarot deck to kind of give you a clarification into the future a little bit further. So let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully this will resonate with you. If it does, please do like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, all the other great stuff. I would super appreciate it. It means a lot to me, helps my channel grow. If not, it is just general, so maybe check out one of the other signs in your chart. But let's go ahead and see what we've got for you here. All right, so this is past, present, and future here. And so this is kind of a timeless situation based on when you're watching it. And time is fluid in tarot, so it could be over the next week, over the next couple weeks, that kind of thing. But we do have the World card, so I do feel like you have successfully come to a completion on something, okay? So for some of you, this could be relationship-wise. Maybe you have come to a completion on a relationship, and it may be something that even was kind of, it's either a relief to get out of, or it was kind of a mutual thing where you both were kind of like, you know what, we've taken this as far as we can. We're just ready to both move on to something else. Because I don't see it as a super negative, where you were like dumped, destroyed by this. It's just kind of a completion. I do feel like it's the end of something for you, but you feel fulfilled with that. So if it's a relationship, I do feel like it's something where, you've gained what you needed to out of it, whether that was a blessing or a lesson. You've done that. If it's a job, if it's, a friendship, whatever, I do think that, you're fine with moving forward. Okay. I think you've kind of accomplished what you needed to there. Maybe you've completed a task. Maybe you've completed a project in that job. Maybe you moved on to something new, bigger, better things. But I do think you have definitely accomplished what you came to do, and you've done it well. Okay. So I think you should be very happy with that. You should be very much, feel completed, feel very much accomplished moving forward, okay? But for some of you in the here and now, I do see this 8 of Swords. And I do think for some of you, the problem here is not as much that you are tied to something or you're bound to something, but I do think for some of you, it's a mindset, okay? So for those of you who, you are leaving something, a job, a place, your family, your friends, maybe you're moving away. Maybe you are leaving a relationship and it's the best for you to leave. You've kind of run the gamut on that relationship. It's basically run its time, its course. But for some reason you are still, maybe it's a bittersweet too, or you're just kind of being sucked back into it. So even though maybe deep down, this is the best thing for you to do, is to take that next move, to move away from that job, move away from that relationship, move away from that friendship, whatever it is, you've taken it as far as it can go and you've done well with it. You've learned from it, whatever it was meant to be. Again, some things aren't meant to be lifetime, right? Some things are meant to be lessons, not blessings forever, but lessons, right? And maybe that's the case for you. But I do feel like for a lot of you, you're having a real problem, even though maybe you've walked away from it or you've decided and you deep down know that this is best for you to kind of break free, move on, bigger, better things. I think there's still a big part of you that's attached, right? Or that wants to keep going back, or something that you feel that's unfinished business, or in some regard, maybe it is just an actual situation where you feel a little bit tied to it, because if it is something where you've separated from a work situation, you still are doing paperwork to separate that, waiting for that last paycheck, waiting for your, last bonus or something. If it's, you've broken this is a divorce situation, something like that, or split up and you're looking to separate your things or funds or accounts or things like that with someone, it may be that you're tied up kind of logistically, and that may be keeping you feeling a little bit tied up. But for more of you than not, I don't feel that that's the case quite as much as I do feel this is more a state of mind. I feel like for some of you, you just keep wanting to gravitate back to that, even though you know this may not be good for you, even though you know you may be hesitant. You're kind of like, ooh, should I have, or could I have changed something, or should I have left that, or was there more that I could have, we could have gone, with that job, with that friendship, with that relationship, whatever. And I don't think that that is something that you really want to think about, because you already knew that you've really taken it as far as you can. But again, you have that mindset, and it may be because they are also, contacting you. They are also keeping connections with you for that reason. They want to keep you tied to them. They very much want to keep you on the hook, on the line, close to them, at arm's length, because they can keep you within grasp, right? But we have the Temperance card down here, and that is a positive card of moving forward carefully, making good choices, being very careful, very cautious when moving forward, dipping your toes in the water, before you take any leaps, kind of weighing your choices. And I think that that's something that you are really going to have to do, okay? Because again, I feel like a lot of you are having this kind of almost, I want to say regret. It may not be even regret. It may just be that little bit of could I, should I, would I, right? So just that little gnawing feeling, or just that every time that they kind of reach in and they make a contact to you, work thoughts, personal thoughts, friend thoughts, relationship thoughts, whatever it is that resonates with you, you start thinking, ooh, should I, would I, could I? And you really need to really think that through, okay? Think about what's best for you. Think about why you left in the first place. There was a reason. What's going to be serving you the best? Have you brought it to completion? Is there anything really more you could do? And I think for most of you, the answer is clear, but you do have to remember that in our brains, we block out a lot of the bad parts of situations as self-preservation. So when you are having this person or this work situation or these people or whomever reach out to you and they remind you, they're of course going to remind you of, remember all the good times we had, remember that vacation, remember that time we went to wherever, remember that time we had that awesome escape or getaway or such fun doing whatever. They're never going to bring up or remind you of the times that you were bickering, fighting, things were going terrible, work was beating you down and taking you for granted, those kinds of things, right? Because that doesn't serve their purpose, right? But you have to remember those, okay? Because your brain tends to want to block those out naturally as a protective mechanism, so you don't remember those things as frequently as you do when you think back of the happy times. And that's just natural. But remember, you left for a reason, right? You felt you had concluded something for a reason. And, usually your first instinct is right, okay? So keep that in mind. If the people are coming around, you may have to split. You may have to split away from them, cut them off entirely if you aren't able to really say, you know what, I'm strong enough, this person, this group of people, these friends, this toxic family member, this job, whatever it is, I can cut them off. I have that power. If there's somebody who just has that hold that can always say the right thing, do the right thing, know which button to push to suck you back in, you may have to cut them off yourself, right? You may have to just say no more. I have to distance myself from this person 110%. I cannot give them leeway back into my life. If I do, I'm going to be in trouble, right? So let's see what your challenge card is here. And again, I think this is pretty much a challenge in itself, is that you are already kind of fighting yourself a little bit in that you're second guessing, I think, yourself a bit, okay? But let's see what your challenge is here. Let us see what Aries' challenge would be on this Eight of Swords. Again, I do think for some of you, it may just be something as simple as, you're in a waiting pattern, holding pattern there to just logistically break free, right? Dot the I's and cross the T's, excuse me. But others of you, I do think it is a mental situation. So we have a jumper here, obviously. So we're going to throw that out there. And it is the Chariot. And I think, again, that is something where that's exactly what your challenge is going to be, is moving forward. And that may be something you just have to do is force yourself to move forward. You know, you did complete what you could with that. You know, you did the best you could. You took it as far as it could do to serve you. When things no longer serve you, it's time to go, right? It's time to KonMari that. Like, is this bringing me joy anymore? Is this bringing me peace anymore? If not, it's time to go. And when you realize that in the first place, that's when you realize this has gone as far as it's going to go. And, you know, while this person may be able to have the ability to know what it will take to reel you back in, to push your buttons, to say the things that are going to really tug at your heartstrings, whether that's to bring you back to a job, bring you back to a town, bring you back to your home, bring you back to family, toxic family members, best friends that were, you know, did you wrong, or a partner that just is no longer serving you, whatever it may be for you personally. You know, your challenge is going to be moving forward without that. And I do think once you really, truly think it through, I think this is going to be a positive move forward. You're going to decide that. But I do feel like you're going to have to get over this hump of breaking free of them. You're going to have to, because I do feel like that is your biggest thing, is that you're keeping connectivity with these people. And for a lot of you, this person, entity, thing, whatever it may be, they have a hold over you. They have some sort of ability to kind of draw you back in, whether it's playing the guilt card, whether it's playing the poor, pitiful me victim card, whether it's playing the, you know, what you want to hear card. No matter what it is, they know how to pull your heartstrings, and you're going to have to probably just get away from them, separate from them, and that's going to be your challenge, right? So let's go ahead and get you a psychic energy card here and see what kind of information we can get on your energy pulling off this World card. What kind of energy, please, does Aries have when they've completed this situation, this job, this relationship, whatever this may have been for Aries? What kind of energy are they leaving this with, or do they need to leave this with going forward? What kind of energy are they dealing with here? Alrighty, let's see. So we have solar plexus chakra. And again, this is a healing, okay? This is a deep breath. Got to move forward, got to do what is best for your soul, your healing, your, you know, internally, you need this. You have gone as far as you can. It's no longer serving your health, wealth, well-being, happiness. You need to really be putting into perspective what is best for you, right? So while you may have, moments where you are taken over saying, you know, what's best for me was not being alone, not being, you know, without that job that I knew how to do so perfectly, or this or that, or not having that best friend that I counted on that maybe you can't count on anymore, or that toxic family member that you at least always knew were there. Okay, but you're kind of justifying that, right? You're justifying those people, those positions, those places, those situations, when they really aren't what's healing you. You are your ultimate healer, right? I mean, your higher divination, what you believe in, those are the ultimate healers for you, but you have to be the one that advocates for your own personal success, health, wellness. Breathe deep, take a step, move forward, know what's right. You know in your gut, you know in your soul, you know in your heart, you know what feels right, and you've kind of already done that. The thing is, when you start kind of letting people back in, when you start letting voices in your ear, when you start letting you kind of second guess and question yourself, that's when you get into a little bit of trouble, overthinking. So, you know, let's not do that, right? So let's grab the moon deck here, and we'll see what we've got on that Eight of Swords and that Chariot card, please, for our beautiful Aries. That Eight of Swords and that Chariot card, please, for our beautiful Aries. What do we have here? What kind of advice can we give based on that, please? All right. We have extremes, okay? And again, I feel like this is something that you're going to have to do. I do feel like it's going to feel extreme to you, okay? I feel like cutting somebody off entirely feels very extreme to you. I am an Aries. I'm a person who, you know, I am a feast or famine person, okay? I can cut a person off like that in a second, never see them again, talk to them again, and I do not care if they do me wrong, okay, or my children, right? However, if this is a person who is a, you know, a very, very close, in my tight-knit circle person, right? If this were, you know, my children's father, for example, okay? even though he has every reason to be cut off. It is extreme for me to have to try and cut him off, right? It's extreme because, I'm like, well, I can come up with 8 million reasons to justify why he should still be allowed to contact. We have kids together. We were married for this amount of time. We were, together for X, Y, and Z before we ever even got married, before we had kids, all these I could come up with a million reasons, right? But I could come up, if I really sat down with it, just as many reasons why we got divorced, right? You see where I'm going? So the thing is, it's very extreme for certain situations to cut someone off, even though we're Aries, and even though usually to cut somebody off is not an issue for us. We're like, we can cut somebody off. But when we're really close to the situation, right, there are those certain situations, people, places, things, etc., that have that control, have that ability to pull at our heartstrings, know how to play us like a fiddle, have us wrapped around their finger, know how to push our buttons, whatever it is, whether it's our kids, whether it's our best friends that we grew up with, whether it's our family members that we're like, they're toxic and they should go, but their family still, they've been around forever, whatever the situation may be, those are the ones that we get real trouble with, right? Because they're really hard for us to cut off. And it's really, really extreme for us to say, no more. No more. We don't care if you're family. We don't care if you're best friends for 30 years. We don't care if you were the first job I ever got out of college and I've been working you for 25 years. I don't care. If you're not going to treat me right, I'm walking and I'll never look back. Okay, that's extreme. But in this case, I really do feel like because of their position of being able to pull us back in, pull you back in, know your triggers, know how to play us like fiddles. This is when it's most important to really be extreme with this and say, no, I am walking away. I know what's best. I have to do this for myself, at least until I get to a place where I am at a point that you do not have the same effect on me that you do right this moment. Okay. There will come a time when you will be less, have less effect, less ability to do those things. But right now I'm not in that place because you've got me second guessing, right? So I think that's going to take some extreme measures on your part. And I think that's okay. I think that's actually probably what is going to need to happen. And we have the 3 and we have the 34. So, a 3, if that means something to you, it could be April 3rd. The 4-3 there could be something that means something to you. The 3 and the 4 there, it could be 7, it could be July that, have something going on there that you really need to, take action if it's still going on. But let's pull you a general advice card, please. General advice card here on Temperance, and see what we can close out some of this for our lovely Aries and see what we've got to kind of carry going forward here on this. All right, we have a 6 here, and that is there's strength in doing nothing, just wait, okay? What have you been forcing, and how can you let go of the outcome? And again, I think that is just it. You're going to have to let go of a lot of things here. You're going to have to let go of certain people, certain places, certain whatever it is, triggers here that are really kind of drawing you back in. And you're going to have to kind of just wait for this to kind of pass. Maybe there will be a time again where you can bring them back in when they are not as able to manipulate you. They don't have as much authority over you. You've healed a little bit more, but I do think for some of you right now, you are still very volatile to this person, this place, this thing, this situation, whatever it may be. And it's got you second guessing, and it's got you kind of going back and forth, and it's got you kind of in a tizzy. And what do I do? And should I have done that? Should I have left? Should I have changed my job, changed my relationship, left this person, done what I've done? And the answer is probably very much yes, of course. What you did was for a reason. You should, certainly follow your instinct. And usually your first response is the correct one. It's not until you get in your head, start second guessing, or they start manipulating, putting those happy thoughts, happy memories in your head that you start going, oh no, right? But just stop. Stop listening to them. Stop letting other people in. Wait. Let it be. Take those people out of the equation. Live your life. Do your thing as you've planned to move forward. in a smart and intelligent way that you know you should. And then maybe down the road, you can integrate those people back into your life. But right now is not a good time for you, right? They're just too, they have too much influence on you right now. Okay. So let's pull 3 more cards here and just kind of give you some generic advice going on over the next couple months. Oops. That might help you kind of see what you might have coming, what to look forward to, that kind of thing. And we will see what you can be looking at here and where we're going. All right, we've got a 9 of Cups, we've got a Knight of Swords, and we've got the 10 of Swords. So I definitely see you are going to put an end to this, okay? You are going to end this. You're going to take that extreme measure. You're going to put an end to that, whatever it was. You're going to put an end to that connection as well, so that you can allow new opportunities in, new things in, live your life, kind of have some time to move forward, because I definitely see that this Knight of Swords is going to come rushing in, right, as a new opportunity for you. Now, whether that's a new opportunity in job, in home life, in best friends, in relationships, whatever it is that you may be seeking, this is going to allow you that chance for this Knight of Swords to come rushing in for you, okay? Opening up, you're releasing so that you can receive, right? You're allowing new things to come in because you are opening up that opportunity. You're not dwelling and hanging on this, past and back and forth. And what did I do? And should I have? And this is taking up all your head space, all your mind space, right? So now you've got the ability to let something in. And when you do that, then this opens up the opportunity for you to have a 9 of Cups, situation where you have a very happy, bountiful, healthy, good relationship fulfilling here with family, with friends, with, maybe a significant other coming in, depending on what it is you're looking for. If you're wanting to stay single, this may be your chance to really build your relationship with your family or new coworkers. If this is a job opportunity coming in with your family and friends, what have you. But if this is something where you're really looking for, I want somebody new that's going to be better for me because, I've put a lot into this last relationship. It hadn't served me for a long time. And this may be the person coming into you that's going to really give you that feeling of fulfillment, completion, family type happiness that you've been looking for. But I definitely see you in a much more fulfilled, happy 9 of Cups type place, because there is an opportunity that's going to come into you when you finally do, stick the last fork in this and call it done. Okay. So I do think you will do that for sure over the next month or two, and that will start really taking off in a positive direction for you. So hopefully everything works out for you. If it does, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And also, if this does resonate with you, please let me know. I'd love to hear that too. And like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, all that other great stuff. And I will be putting up moon readings before too long. So hopefully you'll stick around for those as well. Bye.